Well, thanks for having us, Vaughn. It's definitely growing. Sadly, there are a lot of new faces already out on the street that we're seeing. Students, tourists on visas, now they can't get home, their employment's stopped. So it's really tough. We're seeing a lot of new faces, and obviously there are some older faces here who we see quite a bit of. We're out at Parramatta tonight, servicing the community. Just behind me, Jason, some of them are pretty lively behind me. They've all got a bit of a view on football. Don't worry about that.
And Chris, the Parramatta players do help out?
Yeah, we do. Reed comes down a lot. Obviously, Dylan, Andrew Davey. There's a little bit of conjecture behind me. Yes, they come down and help a lot, and obviously Normie as well. And to be honest, I think it's great perspective for people, and I think that's hopefully one of the things that we can pick up and take away from this time. Yeah, there are the boys now is simply that, you understand how privileged you are to do the job and to do what you're doing, and I hope that resonates a bit.
Everyone's got an opinion on rugby league. That's all right. They're amongst friends. Now, Chris, how are you coping with the influx of people that you're trying to service and clothe and support who, as a direct result of this COVID-19, are now finding themselves in a really vulnerable position?
I think the biggest thing is now we've had to change the way we deliver our service. So we're basically a takeaway model now. We used to have the sort of the dignity of choice and allow people to choose like an outdoor boutique. And obviously with the new guidelines and how to be 1.5 metres away, etc., we've now had to basically do a lot of it off-site. So we just do clothing packs now, 7 pieces for the men, 9 pieces for the ladies, and we just pass them on to distribute. It's kind of lucky out of the back of the car because Reedy's been teaching me about off the dummy half, so I'm just straight with a pass left and right. I hit my target most times.
It's good service. Now, Chris, unfortunately, you've described it as a tsunami of homelessness, and that's the reality that we're facing. So what can we do as a community and as a rugby league community now to help you?
I think for us, like when we come back, obviously, we've got clothing bins that sit inside businesses that you can engage with on a subscription basis. That'll give us stock to clothe people. But essentially, I think the broader message to the community is be kind, because there's going to be a lot of people now finding themselves in this space that have never thought they were going to be in this space in their life. And I think that's going to be one of the takeaways. Hopefully we can break down some of the stigmas that are involved in this space, because it's going to be a lot closer to home for people.
How do we do that? I mean, Chris, congratulations, obviously, on what you're doing. I mean, it's fantastic. I was in New York over Christmas and I was just blown away with how sad it was to see the amount of homeless people over there. How are we going to get through this? I mean, the numbers, as you mentioned, are obviously horrific at the moment, and it's going to take a period of time to come out of that.
I think, mate, it's the model, to be honest. I mean, in here, one of the things we do differently is we don't do volunteers per se. I pick us pretty much a team, a small team, because trust is such a big issue in this space. Yeah. I mean, well, my arm's just about to go for it. I'm 46, I think, so I'm done. But listen, no, I think it's the model. Like, I think here, we do everything on scale, and governments like to do everything on scale with efficiencies, but how do you scale a human problem? Like, so you get out of the way there, but it's the nuance of that last 20% where you know the person you're trying to help, you know the trauma they've been through, you know how to, I suppose, engage them and connect with them and take them to the next level. If they trust you, we've got people into employment, really small scale, but it's been because they've trusted us along the journey. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things is if people in this space trust you and respect you, they'll come along with you, if you're genuinely trying to help them. And I think that's the way, is to do it very small, and then in the end, the number equates to something far bigger. And I think, mate, everyone's got to have a purpose. And I think that's one of the things, you guys as ex-footballers and Yvonne and everyone else, you get up and you've got a purpose in the day. It's very difficult when you take that away.
Yeah,
and I think that's
true.
And we've got it, mate. We've got an army, and some of the things that I think that people should know about it, that the resilience in this space is incredible, right? To get up every single day after you've spent a night sleeping rough. I mean, we do it as part of our corporate programs. Me and Mickey Buettner have done it a couple of times now, where we've got up, and the second night is horrendous. Like, you can do anything for a day because it's going to end, but when you've got to go back and do it again, man, it's so tough. So I think there are a lot of things in this space that if we could harness, we could actually really utilise in the community.
Well, you're doing it with such dignity, and you're absolutely changing lives. Chris, how do we help you? I know you're trying to raise money for a ute. Now, how do we help you do that?
Yeah, go on to our GoFundMe page, $10 Trevor, mate. $10 will just contribute to a ute. So basically, obviously now with the scale of the problem, we just use a small little no-birds rent-a-car behind me, as you can see, and we just can't fit anything more in it. Like, to be honest, it's really, really tight. Like, we're taking sort of 60 packs out with us, and that's it. And like last night, we actually didn't have enough gear to service people with. Yeah. So if we can get that ute, obviously we'll be able to take a lot more stuff. And you know, in the end, we're going to need that over the next sort of 12 to 18 months. So if you go to any of our social channels at Pass It On Clothing on both Facebook and on Instagram, you just go to the bio and there'll be a link there where you can help us, and we really appreciate every little bit of help we get from the community.
Wonderful stuff, Chris. Big thank you from everyone here at the Rugby League community, and I know all the players, they absolutely get behind and support what you're doing, so thank you so much, and all the best as we approach those winter months.
Thank you, everyone, for having us. Just remember, be kind. Thank you very much.
Good on you, mate. Well done.
Be kind. Beautiful messaging there. And he's out on the job now. Like, as we speak, they're at Parramatta servicing the homeless, and these people, you know, they're there through no fault of their own.
No, you did mention, Bonnie, the influx of, and we're only just chatting about it, about people stuck overseas, Australians stuck overseas.